Good evening, everyone. Blitzball Champ is back with another video here on the U to the Tube. So, going to be talking about the Game Awards. Just finished watching the Game Awards 2020. I'm actually going to do a two-part video for this. So in this part, I'm going to mainly discuss and go over the winners from each of the categories for the Game Awards. I'm going to go over each of the winners. And then I'm going to do a separate video to pretty much go over some of the big announcements that they made at the Game Awards, or like with some of the world premieres and reveals and news and stuff like that. So for this video specifically, I'm going to go through each of the categories and name off the winners. All right, let's get started. And I also put a link in the description box to the Game Awards site where you can go through and look at the winners for each category, as well as all the nominees as well. So let's go ahead and get into this. So I'm starting at the bottom of the list. So best esports team, the winning team went to G2 Sports, G2 Esports, which they had Game One Gaming, Dallas Empire, G2 Esports, San Francisco Shock, and Team Secret, with G2 Esports winning. So that's your best esports team of 2020. Best esports hosts. You had Alex Golden Boy Mendez, Alex Machine Richardson, FG Strats Deporte. I don't even know if I said that correctly. Forgive me. James Dash Patterson and Jorian Shiver Van der Heijden. And Scotch, the FG Deporte, won Best Esports Host. I don't know any of these people, so yeah. Best Esports Game. So you had Call of Duty Modern Warfare, Counter-Strike Global Offensive, Fortnite, League of Legends, and Valorant. And the winner was League of Legends. To be honest, this one doesn't surprise me. I mean, League of Legends has been in the esports for a long time now, and it's been very popular. They got, championship series with League of Legends, and it's been strong. It's been very strong. So I'm not surprised at all that this game won Best Esports Game. It's popular. I mean, I'm not a big fan of it. I've played a little bit. I have a bunch of friends that play League of Legends, but it's not really my game. But I can understand why it won. I figured Counter-Strike, Fortnite, and Call of Duty were great competition. I don't know that much about Valorant, but there was some competition in this category, but I'm not surprised that League of Legends won. Best esports event. Nominees were Blast Premier Spring 2020 European Finals, Call of Duty League Championship 2020, IEM Katowice 2020, League of Legends World Championship 2020, and Overwatch League Grand Finals 2020. And of course, the League of Legends World Championship 2020 ended up winning. I mean, I figured with it winning Best Esports, it would probably win the Best Esports event. So, yeah, not really surprised by that one either. I mean, League of Legends is big. Best esports coach. Danny Zonic Sorensen, Daehee Krusty Park, Fabian Grabs Lohman, Lee Zepha Jamin, Raymond Rambo Lucier, which the winner was Danny Zonic Sorensen of Counter-Strike Go. So the others were Overwatch League, League of Legends, and Call of Duty. But so coach for Counter-Strike Go won. So that's neat. That's different. Best esports athlete. You had Ian Crimsix Porter of Call of Duty, KO Showmaker Sue of League of Legends, Kim Canyon Junbu of League of Legends, Anthony Shotzi Cuevas Castro of Call of Duty, and Matteo Zaiwu Herbelt Counter Strike Go. Please forgive me if I butcher these names. But Showmaker of for League of Legends ended up winning. I don't know any of these guys. Um, Best debut game. The nominees were Carrion, Mortal Shell, Rajian Ancient Epic, Roki, and Phasmophobia. And Phasmophobia ended up winning. Phasmophobia of Kinetic Games. Never played it. I've heard stuff about it, and I heard there was a lot of hype behind this game. So I'd have to check it out because I know I've heard of Mortal Shell and Carrion, and Phasmophobia. Once I learn more about these games and maybe get a chance to play them. But as time passed, because I originally I didn't know that much about these games, but I looked some of them up, and yeah, Phasmophobia had a good bit of hype behind it. So, but yeah, it ended up winning best debut game. Content creator of the year. You had Alana Pierce, J. Lopez, Nick Merckx, Tim the Tatman, and Valicray. And Valicray ended up winning. Um, Best multiplayer. So, best multiplayer, you had Animal Crossing, New Horizons, Among Us, Call of Duty Warzone, Fall Guys Ultimate Knockout, and Valorant. And the winner went to Among Us. It makes sense. I figured honestly it was going to come down between that, Fall Guys, Call of Duty, or Animal Crossing. But it was good to see Among Us get the victory. Um, Among Us has really risen up, and it doesn't really surprise me that it won this award. And I know good number of people that have played this game, and it definitely earned its stripes. Definitely earned its stripes. Best esports racing. Um, I thought the nominees in this were a little weak than I would have expected, but I mean, there was only so much they could do. Dirt 5, F1 2020, FIFA 21, NBA 2K21, and Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1 and 2, which Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1 and 2 ended up winning. Um, Makes sense. I mean, Tony Hawk Pro Skater, I remember playing a good bit back in the day. I haven't gotten the re-release, the remaster yet, but I'm pretty sure that it didn't disappoint because the original definitely didn't disappoint. So yeah, I can dig this. Can definitely dig that. Best sim slash strategy. I don't play a lot of sim strategy games. You know, only a few here and there, but it's not really a category that fancies me. Crusader Kings 3, Desperados 3, Gears Tactics, Microsoft Flight Simulator, and XCOM Chimera Squad. And Microsoft Flight Simulator ended up winning. Um, I remember my older brother. He used to be pretty big into the flight simulator games. I remember playing a flight simulator long time ago, back when I was in middle school, either middle school or high school, maybe high school. But I mean, they're unique, I guess. But I can't really say a whole lot about them. Um, Best family game. You had Animal Crossing: New Horizons, Crash Bandicoot 4, It's About Time, Fall Guys Ultimate Knockout, Mario Kart Live Home Circuit, Minecraft Dungeons, and Paper Mario: The Origami King, which Animal Crossing New Horizons won. Um, figured this game was gonna walk away with at least one award. I know it got a few category nominations, so I had a feeling that it was gonna walk away with one of them. And Best Family does seem, you know, because I mean, Animal Crossing, anybody can pretty much play Animal Crossing. I mean, it's the type of game meant for family and friends. So not Animal Crossing is not usually a franchise I'm all into, but I can understand and respect, the target demographic that it hits, the target audience that it hits, and apparently it does it really well. So, got to give kudos to Animal Crossing. Best fighting game. I mean, I'll admit the nominees were kind of, yeah, yeah. Grand Blue Fantasy Versus, Mortal Kombat 11 Ultimate, Street Fighter 5 Champion Edition, One Punch Man, A Hero Nobody Knows, and Under Night and Birth EXE Late CLR. And Mortal Kombat 11 Ultimate ended up winning, which honestly, when you look at it, it's understandable why this one won. I mean, with the kind of content that it's been producing lately, with the characters and the combat packs, um, I mean, I think it was nice that Grand Blue Fantasy Versus was on the list. Um, but I don't know. It just seems like Mortal Kombat 11 Ultimate in this batch of nominees just really didn't have a lot of strong competition, to be honest. I mean, yeah, it just not really strong competition. So in a way, Mortal Kombat 11 Ultimate could almost seem like a unanimous choice, but yeah, definitely not surprised that it won. Best role playing. The nominees were Final Fantasy VII Remake, Genshin Impact, Persona 5 Royal, Wasteland 3, and Yakuza Like a Dragon. The winner was Final Fantasy VII Remake. Now, a couple of things with this. Now, I'll be honest with you. Don't get me wrong. I voted for Persona 5 Royal, and I love Final Fantasy VII Remake. Those that have watched me and watched my streams, I streamed a playthrough of Final Fantasy VII from start to finish. Um, and of course, Final Fantasy VII is my all-time favorite game. But just looking at the competition, when I saw that Persona 5 Royal was on the list, like it just really made me warrant towards that. Cause I'll be honest with you, I know a lot of people were not excited about the Final Fantasy VII remake. If I can be honest, a lot of people weren't excited about it. It had a lot of hype. It had years and years and years of hype, especially when it was first announced as a tech demo. So I mean, and that was what 14 years ago, 14, 15 years ago. So I mean, it's had a lot of hype for many years, and I think that helped played a part in just this game and the popularity. Um, I feel like Persona 5 Royal was a more complete RPG experience. Because, I mean, let's be real. This Final Fantasy VII Remake is only, like, the first part of who knows how many parts there will be to really complete this remake. But, I don't know. I really feel like because I mean, when they say best role playing, it says for the best game design with rich player character customization and progression, including massively multiplayer experiences. Which I mean, you know, Genshin Impact was one of the nominees, but I can't hate on Final Fantasy VII Remake. It's a game that I enjoyed, but if it was up to me, Persona 5 Royal got my vote, and I would have loved to see it win. But I don't know. I feel like the fan base of Final Fantasy VII Remake versus Persona 5 Royal. I mean, maybe there's more towards Final Fantasy over Persona, but yeah, I was really in the back of my mind and deep down in my heart, I really wanted Persona 5 Royal to win this, but I still love Final Fantasy VII Remake. Best Action Adventure Game. Of course, the nominees were Assassin's Creed Valhalla, Ghost of Tsushima, Marvel Spider-Man Miles Morales, Ori and the Will of the Wisps, Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order, and The Last of Us Part 2. The winner was The Last of Us Part 2. Now, I'm going to go ahead and let y'all know this is one of 7 awards that Last of Us 2 has won. Now, for Best Action Adventure specifically, now, fair warning, I'll give y'all the heads up. I do have this game. I haven't started this game. I've beaten the first Last of Us a long time ago. That was the only game that I had because I bought the PS4 Last of Us bundle when I originally got a PS4. I do have Last of Us Part 2 now. I recently got it maybe a couple of weeks ago. It was on sale. Um, but I've heard a lot more, and I'm not doubting that it's a good game, but I've heard a lot more negative feedback about this game, whether it be in reviews or just community feedback, whichever. That it just made me really question, especially this game in this list of nominees. I mean, Assassin's Creed, Ghost of Tsushima, which I highly vouch for. The new Spider-Man, Miles Morales, Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order, which got some good reviews, and Ori and the Will of the Wisps, a beautiful looking game. I just, I don't know. Picking that as the best action adventure game in this list of nominees, just, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if I can be on board with that. But, I mean, hey, I still got to play it, so, you know. Best action game. At Doom Eternal, Hades, Half-Life, Alyx, Neo 2, and Streets of Rage 4. The winner went to Hades. Supergiant Games. Big fan of Supergiant Games. Although I did think it was cool that Streets of Rage 4 was a nominee. I mean, that game, good beat 'em up. Great beat 'em up. Um, but yeah, I was kind of surprised that Streets of Rage 4 was a nominee, but it was cool. Half Life, I can care less about Half Life. I'll just be honest with y'all. After having that experience with the first Half Life, I could care less about Half Life. Um, but yeah, got to give props to Hades. Hades was in early access for a long time, and then apparently became an actual release, and it just blew up. And I've heard nothing but great reviews about Hades, and Supergiant Games has a great track record. You know, um, so yeah, got to give kudos to Hades and Supergiant Games, best action game. Innovation and accessibility. Um, the nominees were Assassin's Creed Valhalla, Grounded, Hyperdot, The Last of Us Part 2, and Watch Dogs Legion, which The Last of Us Part 2 won. So this was their second award. Um, Normally for this type of category, I mean, you can't really hate on any of these games for that particular category because each one of these nominees contributed, by using software or hardware that's adding special features and to help those disabilities that have to rely on accessibility in order to play the game, in order to have an experience where they can enjoy the game as well. I mean, you want to try to hit as much of the audience as possible, regardless of the of like the challenges. You want to try to overcome those challenges. So, I mean, realistically, I mean, each of these games did that in its own unique way. And, I can't hate on that. I don't think anybody should hate on that. So, it just happened to be Last of Us that got the win. But hopefully, as time passes, more and more companies will do these sort of things in their games because, it goes a long way. Definitely goes a long way. Um, Best VR AR game. You had Dreams, Half Life, Alyx, Marvel's Iron Man VR, Star Wars Squadrons, The Walking Dead, Saints and Sinners, and of course the winner went to Half Life Alyx. Ew. No, I haven't played the game before, and I never will. Bump that game. Ew. Anything Half Life? Ew. Yes, I'm being bitter. Shut up. um, Best community support at Apex Legends, Destiny 2, Fall Guys Ultimate Knockout, Fortnite, No Man's Sky, Valorant. And the winner went to Fall Guys Ultimate Knockout, which, I had a feeling it was going to win. A lot of people probably would say, I mean, hey, Fortnite, but I think it was good to see Fall Guys get some love. They're another rising game, just like Among Us, and they've done well. Definitely done well. But yeah, well deserved. Definitely well deserved. Best mobile game. Nominees were Among Us, Call of Duty Mobile, Genshin Impact, Legends of Runeterra, and Pokemon Cafe Mix. And the winner went to Among Us. So Among Us wins its second award. And they doing some good things there over at Innersloth, and it was good to see Among Us take home not only one award but two awards. So hey, got to give it up for the folks at Innersloth. Best indie game. You had Carrion, Fall Guys Ultimate Knockout, Hades, Splunky 2, and Spiritfarer. And winning its second award, Hades from Supergiant Games. So I have a lot of love for Supergiant Games, especially with Bastion. Bastion pretty much being my favorite indie game. One of my favorite indie games to this point. I played the mess out of Bastion on Steam, and just hey, Bastion was one of the first games that Supergiant Games did, and like I said, I got the chance to meet Darren Korb and Logan Cunningham of Supergiant Games. Excellent people, excellent people. Got a chance to meet them at MomoCon. Really, really cool. But congratulations to Hades taking home two awards there. So yeah, they get best indie game. Gotta love it. This next category really, really shocked me. Best ongoing game. Apex Legends, Destiny 2, Call of Duty Warzone, Fortnite, No Man's Sky. And No Man's Sky was the winner. That really, really shocked me. Because I remember No Man's Sky, its initial release, and it was bad. It was really, really bad. And then it got revamped and fixed, and I mean, I guess you could say re-released, and apparently it's a much better game now. But I'm shocked that it won, especially with Apex Legends, Call of Duty, Fortnite, Destiny 2. I mean, games that have really kept the content going and going and going, just more and more and more. I never would have imagined No Man's Sky to be in that category, but hey, eh, Folks must know something I don't know, because I definitely did not expect No Man's Sky to win this category, especially with the nominees it was up against. That shocked the mess out of me. Games for Impact. We had If Found, Kentucky Route Zero, TV Edition, Spiritfarer, Tell Me Why, and Through the Darkest of Times. Tell Me Why was the winner. Don't know too much about many of these games, but I've heard a little bit recently about Tell Me Why. So from what they showed, it looked pretty interesting. But that won Games for Impact. All right, the award for Best Performance. You had Ashley Johnson as Ellie, Laura Bailey as Abby, both these characters from Last of Us 2. You had Daisuke Suji as Jin Sakai from Ghost of Tsushima, Logan Cunningham as Hades from Hades, and Naji Jita as Miles Morales from Spider Man Miles Morales. And the winner was Laura Bailey as Abby from Last of Us Part 2. So Last of Us Part 2 gets its third award with this best performance. Um Now of course, Laura Bailey, I mean, you could pretty much say Laura Bailey has really become, sort of that legend, that Hall of Famer in the list of voice actors slash actresses. I mean, Laura Bailey's had quite a career. She's a very well known name when it comes to like anime and video games and things like that. So, I mean, looking at this list and being that name is on there, I mean, one could say it kind of gave her an advantage because I mean she's Laura Bailey. But I mean, I can't hate on her for that. Laura Bailey, I would love to meet Laura Bailey personally, but very popular voice actress. I mean, she's done a lot in her career, so this just add another notch to her list of accomplishments. Best audio design. You had Doom Eternal, Half Life Alyx, Ghost of Tsushima, Resident Evil 3, Last of Us Part 2. Um, Honestly, I really would have wanted Ghost of Tsushima to win this, but Last of Us Part 2 ended up winning. But, you know, I mean, I've only played two of these games, which are Resident Evil 3 and Ghost of Tsushima, but that's four. That's four awards for Last of Us Part 2. Best score and music. You had Doom Eternal, Final Fantasy VII Remake, Hades, Ori and the Will of the Wisp, and Last of Us Part 2. And looking back at this, surprise, Last of Us 2 actually did not win in this category. It went to Final Fantasy VII Remake, which I was very happy about because the soundtrack to that game is phenomenal. Phenomenal. I actually got it on iTunes, but yeah, great soundtrack. If you're a fan of Final Fantasy VII, the original, you would really like the soundtrack of the remake. They did an excellent job. Um, I just think it's really interesting that Last of Us Part Two won Best Audio, but Final Fantasy VII Remake got Best Score and Music. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe it's just me, but that just seems sort of like contradictory. But whatever. Best Art Direction. We had Final Fantasy VII Remake, Ghost of Tsushima, Hades, Ori and the Will of the Wisps, and The Last of Us Part 2. Um, Last of Us Part 2 got nominated for a lot. But Ghost of Tsushima won Best Art Direction. Um, I had a blast in my playthrough of Ghost of Tsushima, and I definitely liked a lot of the different areas, the scenery. They did a great job with. Um, Honestly, I feel like this would be a really difficult category because I mean Hades looks great. Ori and the Will of the Wisps was a beautiful looking game. Ghost of Tsushima, Final Fantasy VII Remake, definitely a beautiful looking game with how they really touched up Midgar and a bunch of other different monsters and the Shinra building. I mean, they just did a great job. So I'm definitely happy for Ghost of Tsushima. It definitely. I was hoping that it would win an award, and I was thinking it was going to win like two awards, but it got Best Art Direction, Best Narrative. Yeah, 13 Sentinels, Aegis Rim, Final Fantasy VII Remake, Ghost of Tsushima, Hades, and Last of Us Part Two. And The Last of Us Part Two ended up winning. So this was the fifth award. Here's what gets me. A lot of my friends and just a lot of folks I've seen on social media that have played Last of Us Part 2, a lot of them have said that the story flat out sucks. So it just kind of surprises me that it would win Best Narrative. You know what I mean? Like, because, like I said, I've heard way more negative feedback, especially in this department when it comes to The Last of Us 2, because a lot of people have said the story just was terrible, whether it was like just middle of the way or the ending or whatnot. That the story was just terrible. So for this Last of Us Part Two to win Best Narrative, that's kind of a shocker. That's yeah, that's a shocker. Best Game Direction. Uh, you had Final Fantasy VII Remake, Ghost of Tsushima, Hades, Half Life, Alyx, and The Last of Us Part 2. And, yep, you guessed it. Last of Us Part 2 won its sixth of award. Oh, man. I just, I don't know. It just really makes me wonder what specifically about The Last of Us Part 2 really stuck out in this category to warrant the victory compared to Final Fantasy VII, Hades, Ghost of Tsushima, Half Life. I could care less about, but it just I'd have to play it because it really makes me wonder what stuck out in this game for this particular category to win You know what I mean? But and then Game of the Year, the big one, the championship. Now remember, the game of the year is recognizing a game that delivers the absolute best experience across all creative and technical fields. Doom Eternal, Final Fantasy VII Remake, Ghost of Tsushima, Hades, Animal Crossing New Horizons, Last of Us Part 2. And yeah, your 2020 Game Awards, Game of the Year, goes to Naughty Dog's The Last of Us Part 2. And there you have it. Lucky number 7 awards that The Last of Us 2 has won. And honestly, from reviews and stuff that I've seen, just this getting Game of the Year, I just, I just have a hard time. But like I said, I'm trying not to be super hard because I still got to play it myself. But just from a lot of the negative feedback plus reviews, like I just don't see how this wins Game of the Year over these other nominees. I just don't see it. I mean, maybe Doom Eternal, maybe Animal Crossing, but like Ghost of Tsushima, Hades, Final Fantasy VII Remake, I mean, I don't know. I think for a category like this, having just six nominees, just they had these as the six nominees is just, yeah, I think there should have been like eight. But I don't know. What do y'all think? What do y'all honestly think? Do y'all really believe The Last of Us 2 deserved Game of the Year? And even more than that, do you believe it deserved seven of these awards? Game of the Year, Best Game Direction, Best Narrative, Best Audio Design, Best Performance, uh, Innovation and Accessibility, Best Action Adventure. I mean, all seven of those. You think that game deserved it? I mean, the innovation and accessibility, I'm cool with that. But I mean, what do y'all think? What do y'all honestly think? Do y'all really feel Last of Us 2 is the 2020 game of the year? But let me know what y'all's thoughts are. But that's the game awards. Like I said, I'll put a link in the description to the list of nominees and the winners, so you can see for yourself. Like, comment, subscribe, click that notification bell so you don't miss a video. Thank y'all so much for watching. I'm Blitzball Champ Jason Ingram. I will catch y'all later. Everybody have a blessed weekend.